Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you may not know, but surprise, I moved. I still have some decorating to do, like the walls back here. It might sound a little echoey. I have this blank space right here that I'm kind of looking for a nice floor plant or something that I won't kill. So there's still lots to be done, but hence a different background. I'm also getting over pneumonia, so I may sound extra raspy today. So you're welcome to all of those that complain about my voice. Find a new hobby. So today's video is going to be my Sephora VIB shopping guide. Sephora reached out to me and asked me if I would like to partner with them for this, and the answer is and was, of course. I've done these every single year since I've had my channel for every VIB shopping event that they've had. I've always done those independently, so again, this partnership just made sense for me. Again, I do want to let you know that I was afforded this opportunity because you guys responded so well to my last video that I did in partnership with Sephora, so thank you. When I can't sleep at night, I go through and I read reviews on Sephora on my app to see products that I'm possibly interested in, or to see the ones that I've loved, to see what other people have said. And I have to say, it's pretty cool to see other people reviewing products and mentioning me and my reviews and my channel. It's definitely something I never thought I would ever see my name on Sephora in that capacity. So again, I am always very honored for you guys that support me and watch me. Thank you so much. Full disclosure, again, the reason I picked to work with Sephora in my last video, and I've never picked to work with another brand, and even now, is because there is no, it's not brand specific, it's not product specific, it's not price specific. It could be anything that I wanted that they carry. So again, that fits in the standards that I hold my channel to. The only stipulation was they just wanted me to quickly cover their Sephora Beauty Insider membership program. I know I get a lot of questions on it every twice a year when they have these VIB events. I'm just going to quickly cover what each tier is, what your dates are for your shopping for these events, and then what your online code is if you guys care to shop online. There are currently 3 different Sephora Beauty Insider membership tiers, each level earning you additional perks and benefits. It's basically a loyalty program. The more you shop with Sephora, the higher your Beauty Insider level. So if you're a beauty insider, you can sign up at any time and you don't have to spend any money, but I'm basically spending between $0 and $349 in a calendar year. If you want to be up to the next level, which is VIB, you need to spend between $350 and $999 in a calendar year. And if you want to be Rouge, which is their top tier, you have to spend $1,000 plus in a calendar year. The Sephora Beauty Insider membership costs nothing to join. It just keeps track of your spending, which can earn you points. Points you can exchange on their rewards bazaar that sometimes has like crazy trips or makeovers, or like, you know, you'd have to fly yourself somewhere, but all of these really cool experiences, like meet some brand owners, and those come up I think about once a year, and you do have to move fast on those because they do go kind of quick, but sometimes people just save all their points up for the year for something like that. Or you can get deluxe samples, makeovers. You can sign up online or in store or for free at any time. If you're not already a member, even just by signing up immediately, you can already save the 10% off discount for the Beauty Insider dates immediately. I'm going to show a chart here on the screen of the different levels and the different benefits you get. You do get things like birthday gifts, and depending on what level you are, you can get free makeovers or one makeover a year. Again, depending, when you see the little dots, those are the benefits that you get. Typically, every dollar you spend earns you a point, whether it be on Sephora.com, in store, or in a Sephora inside JCPenney. However, it is not available if you shop online at JCPenney.com through the Sephora purchases there. So just be mindful of that. I know at certain times of the year too, I've seen emails where you can earn up to like 4 times the points or whatever the number may be on certain purchases like skincare tools or fragrance or anything like that. I never really know when those are, but it's something to watch out for in your email. I'm not gonna lie, I have Sephora listed as a favorite in my email, so when they send emails, it dings because sometimes I sign up for alerts for items that may be sold out or that were out of stock, and so I can hear it right away so I don't miss out on it. My personal favorite part of being Rouge is the free 2-day flash shipping. I have zero patience when I'm shopping online. I want everything immediately. I'm kind of like an instant gratification girl. So sometimes when I shop online and something can take like a week to 2 weeks to get to me, I know in the US we're really spoiled with that. A lot of times some of my international viewers are like, what are you talking about? Sometimes I can wait a month or months to get something. I'm like, oh no. I've become ruined by that 2-day shipping. So sometimes that's just more convenient for me than going into store, especially if it's something that it's like a refill that I don't need to color match myself, or like my Shiseido facial cottons or something like that. I like it that I can just go online and pick up one thing if I want, or I can pick up a lot, and I will always get the flash free 2-day shipping. My second favorite thing is that typically twice a year they have these VIB shopping events. It usually falls in November and then in April. November has traditionally been a 20% off discount, and then April has traditionally been a 15% off discount. Each insider tier gets dates their coupons are good for. The higher your tier, the earlier head start you get, so you don't have to worry so much about stuff you wanted selling out. It's basically you get first access. So now here are the details of the events. This first weekend is for Rouge, and it's going to be from 4/13 to 4/16. Plus, you are going to be able to shop again on 4/20 to 4/23 during the other tier shopping events. It's going to be 15% off discount. We used to always be able to shop both sets of dates, but I remember one time we weren't, and so there was some confusion, so I basically just like to clarify that now. If you're shopping in store, you can just give your phone number or your email that's associated with the account if you don't have the app downloaded that has like your little card on there, or if you don't have your card in person. And if you're shopping online, make sure after you're at checkout, you apply code YAYROUGE, which I will have on the screen right here, for your discount to be applied. Also, for the first access and the bonus weekend for Rouge, you can extend your 15% off to one friend on 4/13 only. And that's cool because then you get to go shopping with a friend that maybe doesn't have the same discount as you. And then there is going to be a second weekend, and this weekend is for VIBs and Rouges can shop again. It's 4/20 to 4/23. The discount is 15%. Again, in stores or online, check out with code YAYVIB. And then insiders, that anybody, again, you can just sign up tomorrow and you're automatically an insider, or even today. Insiders are the same weekend as VIBs, 4/20 to 4/23. Your discount will be 10%, again, in store or online with checkout code YAYINSIDER. A little legal jargon disclaimer. Discount does not apply to taxes, shipping, or other fees. Some limitations apply. See your store for details. It is only available in the US and Canada currently. Now that we've explained all that, let's get on to my picks. As always, there'll be timestamps below in case you are only interested or just in the market for a certain category of product. And as always, in case I forget, anything that has been sent to me for consideration will be marked with a star in my description box, just so you are aware that I did not purchase that was sent to me. I am an affiliate with Sephora, so when you buy or purchase anything from my links, I will earn a commission. You are not forced to do that. You can go directly to the site as well without using them. As always, no pressure. I just want to make you aware. So while I'm trying to fill this like hollow void on the side here, I'm going to put a screen up like I normally do on the side that's going to have all the details of things I'm talking about, just so I don't miss anything important. While I talk to you guys on the side, I'm going to show you the regular price, what you would save if you are a Rouge with the 15% off, and what the other tiers will be saving with the 10% off, if there are any questions. And as always, I have multiple picks for each category because I'm going to explain why I like them, and sometimes it's different pricing tiers that may fit to different people's budgets, cruelty-free options, vegan options, full coverage, medium coverage, light coverage, all of those different things. I'm going to show you what my favorites are, some things that I'm going to be stocking up on because I'm running low, and then at the very end of this, I'm going to show you products that I have in my basket right now that I'm waiting for the sale to start, things that are brand new to me that I've never tried, just in case you're interested in what I want to try. First up is going to be skincare. I'm gonna do this in order, kind of like skincare, primers, base, etc., as we go along. If you have any questions on how I use these skincare products, I'm going to have a link in the description box to my updated skincare routine below, and that will give you an idea of how and when I use these products. First up I will definitely be getting is my Shiseido facial cottons. I'm completely out, and I have just these regular little cotton rounds right now. During the move, I don't know, I had a bag of them, but I somehow lost it. I think I'm missing an entire box. I don't know how you lose an entire box of stuff. I have no idea where it is. I'm almost all unpacked, but I love those things. Next, I would for sure get a Clarisonic. This is the Smart Profile. I would actually just get the Mia or the Mia 2. The Mia original only has one speed. The Mia 2 has two speeds, a high and low. This one does have different options on it, like it has a massaging head on it, which is nice, but I think for the price difference, I would have just gone probably with the Mia 2. I actually prefer, instead of the smart head that comes on here, I actually prefer the sensitive head on there. So once you switch that out, it doesn't offer you like the option to know when it's time to change out. This one is very nice with the facial massager though, but if you're more on a budget, I would just go for the Mia 1 or the Mia 2. But I cannot live without this. I have to clean my face with this every night. When I was in transition for moving, I had like a bag of all of my like regular stuff packed. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know it was like a moving disaster. And so for like 3 days, 3 nights, I did not get to do my skincare because everything was in chaos and it was like packed up in a truck and we had to stay on an air mattress. And so I was like, ugh. My face kind of went crazy. It was just not happy. I think it was between the stress, not having my skincare, and being sick. So I love this. The trick to these, again, is do not put a lot of pressure on this. The head of this should just make contact with your skin and go over lightly. If you press too hard, you can give yourself broken capillaries, so be careful. Typically around the nose and maybe right around your eyes, but typically it's gonna happen around your nose. So just go in gentle motions with this, and I've never had a problem, but I have seen people that are like pushing really hard where it like splays these bristles out like a toothbrush. Don't do that. You guys know that I love jelly cleansers in the morning, just because I don't want something that's foaming that's really gonna strip my skin, and I don't want anything too harsh because I already cleansed my face the night before. So really, I never used to wash my face in the morning. I just use like a washcloth, but I found using jelly cleansers makes such a big difference in how my makeup lays and how the rest of my skincare is absorbed. So the favorite one I've been loving is this one. This is the Origins Original Skin Cleansing Makeup Removing Jelly with Willow Herb. Mouthful. Sometimes I just wish something would be like named Susan. So that way I wouldn't be stuttering over my words here. But I love this. It's called a makeup removing, but I don't like it for makeup removing. I like jelly cleansers for a first cleanse. I always prefer a thicker balm to remove my makeup at night. So I just rub this into my skin, on dry fingers, dry skin. Then I use a microfiber washcloth and I cleanse this off, and that's gonna kind of prime your skin for everything else that you're gonna follow. Next for washes, this is a wash that I use at night. This is the Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Age Prevention Cleanser. Do you see these names? My God, they're long. I love this cleanser. Puffin's wife actually talked about it a long time ago, and this is my second bottle of it, so I'm going to be picking up a third during the sale. I rotate this at night. Normally gel cleansers scare me because they make me think they're gonna strip the oils out of my skin, but that is very, very nice and I really like it. Next is a tried and true for me. This is the Korres Greek Yogurt Wash. I alternate at night between these three that I'm about to show you. And now that I've been moving, since I'm out of this one, I'm almost out of this one. This is the one that I've been using every night. And I just love it that it makes my skin feel clean, but it doesn't make it feel tight, which I really appreciate. And then the last cleanser that I've tried that I'm gonna get during the sale is the Tata Harper Purifying Cleanser. Caroline Hirons turned me on to this. I love this cleanser. Again, purifying typically it makes me think it's gonna strip my skin, and I have dry skin. For reference, I'm 36 years old and my skin type is naturally dry. With my skincare routine though, it is pretty normal now. But I was petrified that this was gonna strip my skin, and it doesn't. And I love to what I do is I put a little on my hand, I rub it on my cheeks, forehead, and then I go over with my Clarisonic, and I just love this. This is a more on the pricey end for cleansers. So if you are on a budget, it's best to put the bulk of your money in the middle of your skincare routine on serums and acids and things like that, and go for a less expensive moisturizer and a less expensive cleanser. So keep that in mind. I love these cleansers and I will continue to repurchase them. Next up are my two favorite acids from Sephora. Sunday Riley by Good Genes has been one of my tried and true. I love this product. But I have to say I haven't been reaching for it as often. Now, this is a lactic acid, which you guys have been watching me for any length of time. You know lactic acid is my favorite AHA. It's a natural humectant. It's a lot more gentle than something like glycolic. The molecule on this is larger and it helps hydrate your skin. Now, I love this. This is more on the pricey side, and this is the bigger bottle of the two that they have. Now, this does have some occlusives in it, some silicone-based products. So when you put other products on top, it could slow the absorption. Well, not just could, it most likely will. This is the one that I've been using every single day in place of actually my Good Genes. And I know that since I love this so much, I can kind of like go back and forth if I want. But this is the Tarte Knockout Tingling Treatment. I have a whole video explaining what this is. I will link it below, and I have videos where I've used this numerous times for many years, so I will have those linked below if you have any questions on how I use those. This does have a slight vinegar smell because of the acetic acid in here, because that's a primary acid in vinegar, but that is what they're using as their preservative instead of a drying alcohol, so I don't mind. This is just amazing for skin. If you've never used an acid, this will rock your world. And they're not lying when they call it a tingling treatment. It does have a tingle. If your skin is well balanced, or if you're used to really strong acids, you may not feel it. But my skin is used to really strong acids, but I still feel this. This is basically going to help give your skin that glow. It's going to help break up what's holding those dead skin particles together and kind of slough them off. There's salicylic acid in here that's going to help kind of cleanse out the pore linings for blackheads and blemishes that you may get. I just cannot say enough good things about this. I love this and I will never be without this. Now it's time for what looks like my Drunk Elephant like fan club moment. So you guys know I have one other vitamin C and another time that I'll talk to you about, and one other that I'm about to buy during the sale to try, but I've tried a million and I never like any as much as I like the Drunk Elephant C from a Day Serum. I've talked about vitamin C so much in my skincare routines. Again, I will have that link. This is going to help stimulate collagen production. It's going to help brighten dark spots that you have on your skin. It's going to amplify the effectiveness of your sunscreens that you put on top because it's chock full of antioxidants, which is just, it's great for your skin. I think unless you have a vitamin C sensitivity, I think everybody should be using a vitamin C in their skincare routine. And now the next product I would get from them is their Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Gel. Now, I wasn't sure how I first felt about this when I got it because it's really light. Now, I have a whole empty thing. I have so many of these that are empty because I keep buying them, because when I tried to leave it out of my routine, I noticed how much I miss it. And I love this and then putting this on top of it. I just love the combination. And for some people, if vitamin C can give you kind of like a tingle, you can mix those two together. I just like the vitamin C as close to my skin as possible so it can kind of like really drink that in. This is going to be a good moisturizer, I think, if you have oily skin. If you have dry skin, I don't think this is definitely not going to be enough at night, but I do use this in the mornings and I love how it lays underneath my makeup, and it is kind of like a burst of just like hydration for your skin, and it's just really pleasant, and I like those two together. Next is the Drunk Elephant Proteiny Polypeptide Cream. Again, I had a whole video breaking down why I like this. There's 9 different polypeptides in here. It's basically a protein shot for your face. You could think of how you'd add protein to your smoothies. That's what this is. It comes in airtight packaging, which I really like. You push down, the cream comes up out of here, so you're not gonna oxidize and waste anything that's in here. Again, this is not enough if you have dry skin for it standalone, but I've been using this as my anti-aging treatment mornings and nights. And when my skin was going kind of like crazy lately when I was under a lot of stress and really sick and moving, and this really helped because I got some bad blemishes along my jawline and on my cheeks, and this has really just helped fortify. The amino acids in there are just really rebuilding up that outer layer of my skin, which I appreciate. And now the next may come as a shock to you guys because you've heard me for 3 years on my channel say that I do not believe in eye creams. And I still really don't think that they're a necessity, just because I think a well-formulated skincare product at this point should be able to be brought up everywhere. Back in the day, the shtick used to be it was a lower molecular weight for the thin skin around your eyes to better absorb it. It was going to be a different viscosity. So it would stay put and not go up in your eyes or be sliding all down. I get all that, and I've tried eye creams ranging from a few $100s, you know, to less expensive options, and I've never really seen any that have made a difference in my eye. Now, I got this Drunk Elephant C Tango multivitamin eye cream. I actually got to meet with Tiffany when I was in San Francisco. We met because she was in town visiting Sephora, and her and I grabbed some dinner. And she was explaining this eye cream to me, and I was totally side-eyeing her because she knows that I don't like eye creams either. And I have their other eye cream, and the consistency was nice, but it was never anything that I super loved. But I love this. I love the consistency of it. It has vitamin C and it's brightening. It's not too thick. It's not going to make my concealers or anything underneath crease, and I feel like the price is good. So for those of you that do ask me about an eye cream because you really want to use one, I put little dots. I use my ring finger and I tap it in and I bring it all the way up on the sides. I don't have crow's feet, not because of injectables or anything. Like, I have done Botox on my forehead, but as you can see, it's completely gone. That has been over 1.5 years ago now, and that's the only spot I've ever done Botox in. But because when I smile, all of it, when I do smile, all of it comes, all the pressure comes right here. Or some people, when they smile, their eyes kind of bunch up there. I wear sunscreen every single day, and I also wear sunglasses when I'm out in the sun. So that helps that area. So for me, basically, what I'm always looking to correct is, see those hollows right here that you can see? That's typically not anything that's going to be fixed without filler, because it's typically thin skin that you need to plump up. But I have noticed that this has made my under eyes really nice and moisturized. It hasn't like leaked into my eye and stung me. It has brightened up that area slightly, and it's just laying really nice underneath my makeup. So that gets an approval from me. And last from my Drunk Elephant fan club is the Umbra Tint Physical Daily Defense Protection. This is an SPF 30. This is a physical sunscreen. If you have any questions on sunscreens, I'm going to link my sunscreen video below where I get more into this. This does not have a pleasant scent. None of this does. I've heard people call this, say it smells like hot dog water. I don't even know. But what it does for my skin is amazing, so I'll put it on. And again, keep in mind, the better your skincare smells, if it's added fragrance, fragrance has no benefit to your skin. It can make the experience pleasant for the user, but some people, it can cause long-term cellular damage if you have sensitivity to that. So if I can avoid it, I do. Some of the products I love do have fragrance in it, and I'm not sensitive to it, but since I know a lot of people are, I don't really want to try to recommend products that have a ton of things in it. This kind of smells like chips to me. It dissipates once you rub it in. Again, if you have any questions on sunscreens, I showed this one and their Umbra that is untinted. I thought that this would be too dark for me because I am on the fair side. Some people say I'm not fair. My foundations are ivory, alabaster, vanilla. I don't know. Whatever you want to call me, that's what I'll be. But I thought that this was going to be too dark for me, but it's not. It does have a slight sheen to it when you put it on, but nothing that makes you look like shiny or greasy, and I put makeup over it. I brought this with me when I went to Bali, and I wore this every single day, and I loved it. It held up great in the humidity, and that it was hot when we were there and bright, and I came back somehow lighter than when I left because I was just wearing big floppy hats. I was just very careful to keep myself out of the sun, again, just because of all the sun damage I had for years. Next product is a new to me product. So this is Pharmacy Honey Savior. So this is the all-in-one skin reparative salve. Now, I really, really like this because My skin for a while, even just going up to Tahoe, when I'm in anywhere that's forced heat and forced air, my dry skin really acts up, and my problem areas are always the cracks of my chin and right around my nose. This is really, really nice. It has a really light, it's almost like a gel oil consistency, how it comes out. And honey is really reparative. It can be really, really good for your skin, but it helps give you this like moisturized sheen. Do you see the difference between my hand? This one doesn't have anything and this one does. It just feels really, really nice, and I was worried because of the thickness of it that it was going to give me some congestion or blemishes, and it did not. And I'll mention a couple other pharmacy products that I want to try later in my list, because there's a couple other ones that I've been eyeing. And as always, it wouldn't be a video about skincare if I didn't mention my holy grail. This is my face cocktail. I put a dollop of the Belif True Cream Moisturizing Balm on the back of my hand, and I put 3 drops of the Fresh Sea Berry Moisturizing Oil. So I actually broke this little top off when I was moving. It's like normally like a silver little thing, and I'm almost at the end of this. This bottle lasts me a long time. They did make these giant Big Mama sizes online, in store and online, but I noticed that it was sold out online. So this is not the one I have listed. It's the normal size, but I can't live without this moisturizer. This moisturizer has comfrey root leaf extract in it, which is an ancient healing. They used to put it on burns and cuts and wounds and all of these things to help heal. And this has really saved my skin. This is like one of these two things together are really, I've tried sometimes just using the moisturizer on my own, and I really do like it, but mixing those two together is just like, for some reason, I don't even know how I got there, but it's perfection and I love it. I highly recommend that. The only thing I wish is that Belif would put different packaging, because the True Cream Moisturizing Balm is in the same exact packaging as a True Cream Aqua Balm. The Aqua Balm is better for those with oily skin, so just make sure you're reading the package and you're picking up the proper one. Otherwise, it can be a bit deceiving. And that's all my skincare picks I have for you guys from Sephora right now. Okay, next up is primers. If you hear little pitter patter, it's because my cat Massimo is roaming around in the back here while I'm talking. So the primer that I have been using for years that I love is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer Base. Again, the longest names ever. One of these jars lasts me about almost a year, or every 6 months at max, because I just take a little bit. This is a heavy primer, so it's not something you want to overuse. I fill in my piercing scars, or if I have bigger pores around the sides of my face, and in a downward motion. I find if you rub, this will ball up, and be mindful of the products that you put on top. If you put a very water-based foundation on top of a heavy silicone primer like that, you're gonna likely get balling up if you're buffing it and not pressing it into the skin. Now the next primer, it caught me off guard. This is the Origin Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willow Herb. Again, the names. I was concerned about this because alcohol is so high up in the ingredient list, but this is an aerosol. And if you're familiar with hairsprays, or actually the standards that California keeps because of the emissions that it puts out, it actually, I believe what it is the alcohol is needed for the aerosol to come out. And it does have this like cooling effect on the skin. I feel like this is one of those things, like kind of science be damned. I really like this. I've been wearing this every day. I've been reaching for it. I thought that maybe I was gonna test it and see if it dries out my skin. Now, full disclosure, I do wear skincare underneath that. So when I'm putting that on top, it's not like if there was like any alcohol left in here, but it makes my skin feel so smooth and hydrated. There are some oils and things in there. So I think that the alcohol is just needed for that quick absorption for the aerosol to come out, the spray. So I actually really do like that primer. Next up is going to be foundations, tinted moisturizers, BB creams, CC creams, all basically just bases. So I'm going to start off from the latest coverage to my most full coverage. Now I did have a favorites foundation video that I will link below that covered like a ton of different ones, but now that I'm in a warmer climate than I was living in, I'm finding myself reaching for different products more often, and I'm gonna explain to you why. So this is Philosophy's Renewed Hope in a Jar Skin Tint. I got someone on my last video like, oh my god, why would you recommend a tinted moisturizer? It's because not everybody wants full coverage. Not everybody wants medium coverage. Some people want like a Your Skin but better. It's all gonna come down to personal preference. So on the days when I was moving, or on the days that like I was running around or doing whatever, I was looking for something that I could just dip my fingers into, rub on my skin to kind of lightly even out my skin tone, make me look hydrated, and I was out the door. And I love this one. This does not have a ton of colors. I wear 3.5 sand, and I just really like this. It's a whipped gel consistency, like a watery gel. It's moisturizing. It gives a nice natural finish to the skin, and I really like this. I feel like because it's a tinted moisturizer too, it's gonna adjust more to your skin tone opposed to something that's so full coverage. It's like you really need to nail your color because it's so pigmented, where that I think can be really flexible with multiple skin tones. Next up is my Kogendo Aqua Foundation. I love this foundation. I'm in shade 113. This gives me a beautiful, luminous, it's not full coverage. I would say this is light to, you could build up to medium. But basically what I like to do with lighter concealers like this, or foundations, is I like to go in and put a layer down to even out my skin tone, and then I will pinpoint conceal where I need the extra coverage, opposed to having like a really thick full coverage foundation on, because I like to be able to see my skin through. I'm so bad at like which shoulder I'm over, but say hi, my Simone. He wants to be in the video. Next is the Dr. Jart BB Balm. This only comes in 2 shades, which they really hopefully need to expand. It is because it is a Korean brand. The majority of their market in Korea is lighter tone. So I wear color 01 light medium, and this is almost a touch too dark for me. It's right on the border. So if you are much lighter than me, I don't think that these would work for you. And then there is one more deeper shade. This is extremely moisturizing. These do run with a gray undertone. I find a lot of Korean and Asian BB creams do kind of have a gray undertone, but it actually gives the skin more of a lifelike appearance, I think. I mean, again, depending on your undertones. And because if you're on the like way one end of the spectrum, it might actually make you look dead. But I think that this gives more of a realistic skin look instead of looking super pink or super orange or super yellow. I really like this, and it's really moisturizing. So if you fit in to one of the 2 colors, this is really nice. Next up is the Herborian BB Cream. I am in the color Claire, which is the lighter. They have 3 shades available in this. The one door that is one up from this is a touch too dark for me, but I love this. They're calling it a baby matte finish, and this is something, again, that I can just, these 3, when I just want something really quick to just rub all over my face and get out of the house, that's what I will use. And if I want something that I know, like this one is very luminous. So this one, if I didn't want to be as luminous, I would have to powder down. This one will dry down and looks just like skin on. So I really like that one. Next is what I'm wearing today. It is the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint, broad spectrum SPF 15 in here. I love this foundation. It's just very moisturizing, hyaluronic skin tint. When it says tint, you think that it's not going to give you as much coverage, but I would call this a medium coverage foundation. It's really nice. It feels really nice on the skin. I think this would be lovely for those of you with dry skin. And even though we're coming into the warmer months, my place now has air conditioning, and most of the places around have air conditioning, which that can give me dry skin in the summer because, again, the recycled and forced air. So I actually sleep with a humidifier on. Otherwise, my skin gets like really itchy. It's not just my face. My scalp can get itchy. My arms and legs can get itchy, just all over anywhere I have skin, basically. Next up is one of my all-time favorites. It's the Natasha Denona Glow Foundation. Again, there's a very specific way that I have to put this on. I put a pump on the back of a palette. I paint this on with a flat foundation brush, and then I go on with a beauty blender. This is the most luminous foundation I have ever worn. It gives my skin this like lit from within glow. It looks so healthy and it's beautiful. If I try to pick this up with a brush and just buff it on, I dislike it. It gets kind of streaky, and if I go in with the sponge and I put it on immediately, it looks too oily, so I don't like it. So it's just that combo that I have found that I love. If you are oily skin, I would stay away from this. Normal to dry skin, if you want a luminous, moisturized finish, this is really nice. Now the next two, this is the La Mer, the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation. I mentioned I don't like the smell of this. Some people say they love it. I don't like it. It smells like a port or like a wine or something, which it dissipates once you put it on your face, but I do love the finish this gives, and I'm in shade Neutral 22. It was between that and Natural and Neutral, and Neutral actually has like a gray tint to it, but it does blend into my skin. It is almost a touch too dark for me, but I just love the finish of this foundation. It is beautiful, it wears beautifully, and during the sale, since it is more on the pricey side, I would get that. Now, if you want a more matte foundation, there are two that I reach for the most. The Fenty one, and then I love, actually, though, the Etherealist, the Skin Illuminating Foundation by Kevyn Aucoin. Their shades can be very confusing to me. Again, I'm not a professional makeup artist, so I am actually matched to EF07, which is saying it's a medium. I do have a couple other colors, but this one matches me spot on. So if you're not sure about your match on this, I would go into store to be color matched, because that will make your life a lot easier. Next up would be concealers for me. So my two favorite from Sephora are the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is one of their shade range expansions. I got it in the color Creme Brulee, and this works perfectly underneath my eyes to correct any dark circles I have, because it does have a slight like salmon tint to it, and this is nice and moisturizing, but it doesn't crease. I love that concealer. I've been buying it for years. And then the other one is the Herborian Touch Pen. Now this is in the Door, I think that's how you say it, which is their medium color. So this helps color correct underneath my eyes too. It does come in this little weird kind of squishy touch pen, and you click it out, but the coverage on this is beautiful. It's nice and natural. If you want like really thick, heavy, full coverage, that's not going to be for you. But if you want to wear like a beautiful light base with some color correcting underneath your eyes, and it blends in really seamlessly to the rest of your skin, I really like that one. Now on to contours. These are the products that I've been reaching for the most. So what I have on today is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in the color Light. When it first came to Sephora, I believe they only had medium, which since they were calling it medium, I wasn't aware that they had other shades. So I was thinking, I wonder why they call it medium and not just sculpting powder. So it kind of implied there were different colors. Do you hear the cat? So I am in the shade Light, and I'm wearing it today, and I love this powder. It blends so beautifully. It's not patchy. It is available in 3 different shades. There's a light, a medium, and a deep. Now, if you are medium, this book is a way better value, because this is 44 and this is 65, and you're getting the same size. So you're gonna get a cream, a powder, a cream highlight, a powder highlight, and then what they're calling eyeshadows. This Starlight is actually a highlighter that they make, and you can even highlight with that, but you can use these as eyeshadows or however you feel. And then in the beginning of this book is kind of like, Kevyn was kind of like, I feel like, the godfather of contouring, and so it just helps tell you how to contour your eye and your face, and this is just a really good value, but it is only available in medium. So if the medium powder and color fits you, then this would be an excellent buy for you. And my last favorite contour product from Sephora is the Fenty Amber Matte Matchstick. Again, that's a mouthful. I just love this. This color is perfect for those that are light and fair, that want a shadow that's not warm, that's not gonna look like bronzer. A little goes a long way. I just draw this on and blend it up with a brush, and I just really, really, really love this. Next up are bronzers. So these are the bronzers I've been reaching for the most. I do have a lot, but these have been my favorite. First up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the color Tawny. I have a full review on these if you want to see swatches. This does have a bit of a red base to it. If you put too much on, they are so pigmented. Just tap your brush lightly in it, knock a little off, and put it on. I love the way this looks. I love the consistency of it. They are very pigmented. They're just really nice. The days I want more natural bronzer, I've been going back to this Bobbi Brown Golden Light 01 shade. This is very natural on my skin. It's a matte bronzer. It's not gonna make me look orange or red or weird. It's just the perfect amount of like, kind of almost like, even though it's called Golden Light, I feel like it's almost a little cool, like neutral leaning cool. And I love this one. And what I'm wearing today is the Hourglass. This is the ambient lighting bronzers. This is in Nude Bronze Light, which I believe is the lightest one. So I swirl my brush in because again, if you just do this, it looks like powdery and kind of odd. So you swirl your brush in and I put it on my cheekbones and I think it gives me a nice warmth to my face without being too much. I used to really avoid bronzers because it was too intense for me. And then the last bronzer I would get because it's expensive is the Tom Ford. This is in Terra. So this one is the powder to cream or cream to powder formula. I'm going to be picking up the powder one during the sale. I meant to last time, but my cart got too big and I was like, oh, I don't want to spend that much. So I'm going to get the powder one this time, and that's the one I would recommend because while the formula on this is beautiful and so soft and creamy, you're gonna need a more dense brush to pick this up, and then I find that gives me harsher lines. So what I've been doing is using a disposable mascara wand and scraping some of this off because it's so smooth, and picking it up on a fluffier brush and putting it on, and it looks beautiful. But I do wanna try just the regular powder one to try my regular brush in to see if I like that one better. But the formula of this is beautiful. It goes on so beautiful. The compact is really pretty too if you like to display those. Next up are blushes. I only have 2 brand picks right now. The one, Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush, as you guys know I'm obsessed with. I always go for mood exposure, but during the summer and as it's getting warmer, I've been going for Dim Infusion, which is what I'm wearing today, which is more of a corally color. I have a full video on these. I will link them below. Remember, swirl your brush in so you're picking up an even amount of powder and the color. If you don't, if you just go like this, they look chalky and you're gonna be like, oh, what does that look like? So ask a cast member in Sephora to try this on you if you're not quite sure what you would like. Other favorite blushes are the Natasha Denona blush duos. These are extremely pigmented and a little goes a long way. This is in blush duo number 10, which is a little confusing because it says blush duo number 2 Toto and number 5 Sheer Peachy Nude, but the duo number is called 10. It actually looks like it might be too light, but this is a perfect blush for me, and I can deepen up the edges with this. I really love her blushes. They are extremely pigmented though, so remember, just tap your brush in. Next up for me are highlighters. So what I'm wearing today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Amrezi highlighter. This is limited edition. I love this highlighter. I have a full review on this as well. I will link below where you can see against other color comparison swatches. But this just is beautiful. I thought it would be too gold, and I normally don't like gold highlighters on myself, but I think this looks really good on most skin tones from fair to deeper skin tones. I have seen if you are a very deep skin, this could pull possibly ashy on you. But again, I have swatches in my review video on deeper skin, and I really love the formula of this. It's not glittery. It's really pretty. The next one is one that I've talked about for years, but it's back now in the Sugar Glow kit. So I still have my old discontinued kit that's back there. So this one I've hardly touched, but Starburst is my all-time favorite. This is the ABH Glow kit in Sugar. I love Starburst. I love this color. I wish they'd make an individual pan of this. I'm so happy to have it back. Gumdrop does have a slight micro glitter to it, as well as Butterscotch, just a touch. But otherwise, the rest of these are that very smooth jelly-like formula, and they go on the cheeks, just beautiful. It gives you that really wet, beautiful sheen. Next is, if you like a cream highlighter, these are the Hourglass Vanish Flash Sticks in Champagne Flash. I talked about this again in my favorite highlighter video. This is just really beautiful, and it's the first cream highlighter that I can put on over my foundation and tap in, and it doesn't lift up my foundation from underneath. Just looks really beautiful. And then I like to even go on if I just want something natural. Oh, I call that natural. But I go on with this color is my all-time favorite. I believe this is Absolute Strobe. It's the pink one. This is the Ambient Lighting Absolute Strobe Light. This is the Metallic Strobing Light palette. People say that they mix these all together, which I've done and I can do. I typically don't like yellow highlighters though on me, and this one is a bit too dark, but you can just mix them all together. But I go in after that pink one, and I love the formula on this. They are intense with no glitter. Their original strobing powders I did not like because they were chunky and they did have glitter in them. These do not, so I can't wait for them to come out with individuals. Next up is something that I've demoed for you guys, which I will have linked below. This is the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette. This is in the color 01. I freaking love this palette. This is intense. This is intense. So you're gonna get two creams up here. This is a cream blush and a cream highlighter, and then the diamond, so you can really kick it up. So if I want like an intense highlight, I'll put this on first, and then this or this. I thought that this would be too dark, but it's not. It just gives kind of like this pinky purple shift to it, which is beautiful. And then this diamond powder on top. So I will link my demo of that below so I can get through the rest of these products if you guys are interested, but these are intense. Now on to brows. Again, I will have my last video that I did in partnership with Sephora linked below, where I showed my current brow routine of what I've been doing. The secret to my success, or cheating shall I say. I've been using the ABH brow stencils in the size full arch for me. I love the Brow Duo powders. I am in the color medium brown. And then depending on the tip that you'd like, I'd either get the Brow Wiz that has the thinner tip, or I would get the brow definer. In both of these, I am in medium brown. This one has more of that triangle shape, so you get less of a harsh line, but the other one is better to go in and like detail. I have them both and I love them both. I applied the brow powder with the ABH 7B brush. I like it that it's a narrow little slant, and I like it that the spoolie is small so I can really get up in there and blend. Sometimes I find spoolies to be like way too big and it just makes a mess. I also love the ABH Dip Brow Pomade. I am also in the shade medium brown in this, where I just go in and fill in the sparse areas. I'm not good at doing my entire brows with this, or it looks like I Sharpied my eyebrows on. So I like to use a few different mediums to give like cast a shadow and then give some more hair-like strokes. The best brush for that is the Lancome number 27. This is the Eyebrow Reshaper brush. These are like a really firm hair. This is not good for powders, but excellent for pomades. And I can go in there and just brush in some hair-like strokes, which I love. Again, my whole brow tutorial I will have linked below, where I've demoed and used all of these products. And then I go in and finish them up with the Hourglass Arch Shaping Gel in clear. They also have a fiber brow pomade as well that has a bunch of different colors, but I just prefer the clear. What I love about this is this brush. This brush is long on one side and short on the other, so you can really get in there. It's not gonna leave your eyebrows flaky or crunchy or anything weird. It's just really nice. Next up is going to be lip products for me. So this has been one of my favorite lip masks for moisturizing. I still love my Bite Agave mask, but I've been reaching for this one more. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in Berry. I just love this. It gives my lips a nice sheen to it. It is in a deeper pot, so I like to use a lip brush with this. It does come with a little like kind of lip spatula brush thing with it, but it's so small I lost it, so I just use my lip brush that's in my vanity. But this really moisturizes my lips. It feels really nice, and it's not too sticky. What I've been wearing every single day on my lips, while I was wearing my Invisalign trays, which I now have off, but also when I'm just like running out the door, and I like the color of my lips, so I don't always want to change it. This is the Sugar Advanced Therapy Dream, and this is in a brand new color. So this is like a light pink tint, and they do have it in several colors. In this particular line, there's only a clear and then this light pink, and then they have like a whole other line that has SPF in them too. This one doesn't have that, so you're not gonna get that SPF kind of chemical-y taste to it. So you do need to be wary if you are in the sun, but I'm wearing this right now on my lips and I absolutely love it. Two products up from Fenty Beauty is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. I wore this all at the makeup show, and every time I put this on, I had so many professional makeup artists come up to me and say, "Oh, I love what's on your lips. What is it?" I'm like, "It's this Fenty Gloss Bomb. I love it." And it has a peach vanilla scent to it. A nice big wand. I just really like this. And then I have been obsessed. I know I need to pick back up on my liquid lipstick reviews. I just haven't had time, and I was getting my teeth fixed. And now that that's all done, I can start up again. But this is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Stunner Lip Paint in Uncensored. This is beautiful. It's nice and thin. It doesn't crack. It wears really beautifully. I will do a whole wear check-in with this, but I love this red. It's almost like, it's a true red, but there's like a hint of orange in there for me, which you guys know I love my orangey reds, so love those. And then the other liquid lipsticks I've been reaching for the most are the Kat Von D ones. I love a good orange. So a Go-Go I've been wearing a lot. Malice I've been wearing a lot. Miss Argentina, which is this beautiful like fuchsia color. Bow and Arrow, which is like a nice nude color. And then Ploth I've been using a ton. And this one is more of like, I don't know how to describe this. More of like a rusty color. Now onto eyeshadow palettes. The two I would get from ABH would for sure be the Modern Renaissance. This one gets a lot of love from me. Again, I have a full review of this on my channel if you'd like to watch that. And then also the newer Soft Glam, which again, I have a review on this as well that you can watch. At first I was like, this looks pretty safe, but I've been reaching for this so often, and when I'm traveling, because I can do neutral looks, so I can do more like romantic, sultry, smoky eyes. I just really love the formula on this palette as well. I really can't go wrong with ABH eyeshadows. The next one I've been loving is the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset. I really do like her formula. I have to review the Tropic palette because that is different, and this came out around the same time. But I love the colors in here, and it's $25. Now the cost per gram on this is very high because you're not getting that much product. But if you're one of those people that say you're not gonna hit pan on the bottom of something, so you don't really care, the metallics in here are beautiful. You can do some beautiful smoky eyes. It is smaller. I mean, here's my finger and here's the palette. It's not that big, so it's perfect for traveling, but I've been loving the looks that I've been doing with that lately. Next, I would get one or both of the Viseart. This is their Golden Hour palette, and then this is their Tryst palette. So, one thing I didn't like about the Golden Hour palette was the packaging was really hard for me to open, and they have fixed that on the Tryst. If you look on the outside, this one's like rose gold, which is pretty to match the theme on the inside. This will work on light skin to deep skin. I have a review on this, or swatches, on all of light, medium, and deep skin. This palette is beautiful, and I love that red in there. Now this palette, what I'm gonna tell you is I wish they had more mattes. You're only getting 2 mattes and 1 matte that kind of has like a shimmer in here. So automatically you're gonna get like a crease color or like a transition. You can deepen your crease, and then one of these, or you can like build up. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I do like this palette because it's a nice spring palette. I do not think this is a dark skin friendly palette. And if you want a huge range of versatility, I don't think that you're gonna get it necessarily with this, but I like it because the price point is good on this. I do love Viseart matte shadows, and these shimmers are a better formula, and this one in the middle is a really pretty kind of like duochrome. So if you wanna play with a little color, but you're not comfortable jumping into some of these like deeper tones, and you want a nice spring palette that's gonna have some of those peachy colors in here, this is a nice palette to get. If you want more range, I would go with the Golden Hour palette. Next, I would get one of, you guys know Viseart are my favorite matte shadows. I would get one of their Theory. So here are all of their Theory palettes. I have their new, their Absinthe palette right here, which is going up and down because I didn't have any more room going side by side. But I love all of these. If I had to pick one, I would definitely get their Minx, which is these, it's these 6 right here. This is their brand new one, and this is their newer one as well. The purples on here are amazing. They're all just really good palettes. And I've talked about all of these several times before. Typically in all the Theories, you're gonna get 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. The only one you didn't was this one. I'll have to put the name in the screen because I can't remember it right off the top of my head. This you did get 6 shimmers, so you would have to pair it with some other mattes if you wanted to do like a wide range of looks. But these are nice, and they're all magnetized, so you can mix them up in your own little Theory books, take them however you want, or put them in one giant palette. Wouldn't be a favorites or buying recommendation guide if I didn't mention my all-time favorite palette. So that would be these 3. These are the Viseart Pro palettes, the 12 pan. Now on the 12 pan palettes, they do not mix shimmers and mattes, because if a fleck of mica gets in one of these, it can be picked up on camera, and these are meant for professionals. This palette is my second one of these. I use this the most out of everything I own because I can pair this with anything. If I have a palette that's all shimmer and I need transition colors or whatever, I can do it with this. I want a smoky eye, I can do it with this. Has an orange color. I can use this to contour my face. I can put a little of this in lip gloss to give my lips a little tint. I can do my eyebrows with this palette. I think this is a staple for most professional makeup artists from what I've been learning at these conferences and speaking to a lot of them, and that's their neutral matte palette. The next one I would get would be their dark matte palette. Ripley calls this her kind of like neutrals, like how much I like this, because if you are deeper skin tone, I don't think that you're gonna get a whole lot of use out of this top row. Maybe this far one for like highlighting, but these other ones, you can mix them. But I think that this palette would be better for you if you're in deeper of skin tone. And this is the dark mattes palette. Love these. These are so pigmented. They blend like a dream. So you pick them up. Sometimes a shadow can be so pigmented that you touch your brush in and you touch it to your eye and then it all sticks right there. These aren't like that. These are blendable and buildable, and literally you put the brush down and it just kind of blends for you. And if you want more and more intense pigment, you can pick up more and more and more, and they build, like I said, and mix really nice. And then the third one I would get would be their warm matte palette. I love these colors. I do think same thing, if you have very deep skin tone and this is for yourself, I don't know if you'd get a lot of use out of these first two colors. Perhaps the other ones could be like brow bone highlights, but I love, nothing compares to Viseart mattes for me. They're my all-time favorite, hands down, and their cost per gram is really reasonable. I know when you look at the palette and you think, oh, $80 compared to like an average of a $40 palette, you're thinking that's double, but you're also getting 2 grams of eyeshadow in each one of these pans, so you're getting a lot. So your cost per gram on this is putting it down around a lot less than anything else that I've actually even mentioned today. So those are a winner for me. Next up is eyeliners for me, and I only have 2. This is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. I love this because this is a hair tip. It is not a felt tip, so it's not going to get those squiggly little lines. The only complaint I've ever heard about these is that they dry out, and for me, I always store my eyeliners in a cup, tip facing down, so all of the fluid stays on the tip. I've never had a problem with these drying out. They last me a really long time. This is my all-time favorite liquid liner, and it is waterproof. And next up is the Clinique Pretty Easy Liquid Eyelining Pen. I got it in the 01 black color. This is that same kind of hair tip, and it's smaller so you can do more detail work, but this is not waterproof. So if you get really watery eyes, it doesn't budge really, but if you do get watery eyes, it can run. Some people don't like waterproof like mascaras or eyeliners, so if you didn't, this would be for you. I love both of these. They're nice to be able to go over my band after I put my eyelashes on and kind of blend that in to make sure that there's no glue showing. Now, I only have one powder pick. I have a whole video on the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders. This one I've been wearing constantly. This is Ethereal Light. I kind of forget about stuff sometimes. When I was moving, I was going through my collection of stuff. I have it on right now. This is not a highlighting powder. This is not a setting powder. This is a finishing powder. This should be your last step in makeup. And it's basically what these are meant to do is take the light and reflect them back in more flattering ways. So that's why there's all types. There's dim light, diffuse light, ethereal light that's supposed to mimic like soft moonlight. Again, I have a whole video explaining what each one does below. This is not supposed to be something that you put on and you're like, bam, in your face. It's supposed to be something that someone's like, did you do something different? It's subtle and it's beautiful, and this is like a lifetime supply. I mean, these powders last a really long time, and I even can use this under my eyes because my eyes don't really crease, and it can like brighten up that area a little bit, but this is gonna give you kind of just like a natural radiant finish that does not have any glitter in them. Last but not least are some tools and brushes from Sephora. So the first brush I would get would be the Kevyn Aucoin. Now this is the foundation brush. At first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this size, but it actually works perfect with their foundation, and I don't get any streak lines, and I really like this. Now this is an expensive brush, so I would get it while it's on sale, but I really like this. I've been using this for a lot of foundations and really enjoying it. Next up are a few of, so the Sephora Pro collection are really well-made brushes, and they're all cruelty-free and synthetic, so if you're in the market for that. This is the number 75 brush. I love this for blending out my concealer underneath my eyes, or if I'm wearing like a cream bronzer, I like to use this to stomp this on and kind of blend that out. I love this brush. Next up is their concealer. So Sephora actually sent me one to try, and I was like, oh my god, I already have this brush. This is the number 57. I love this for blending out under eye concealer or just buffing it in under here. So here's one that is several years old, and here's a brand new one, and you can see it's still in very good condition. Next up is the Sephora number 55 brush. I love this brush for buffing on finishing powders or setting powders. It's a nice head. It has a nice give to it. It's not too stiff where it's gonna move my foundation around. Well-made brush, doesn't shed. Next is the number 56 brush. I use this brush for foundations. I just like to kind of buff them in with this. This is a great brush for that as well. And then Sephora sent me two other brushes. They sent me this number 88, the rest of those I purchased. This 88 brush. Now this is a well-made brush, but it's just not my desired shape for putting on foundation. But if you like to paint down and you like these kind of dense brush heads, I've used this several times and washed it, no shedding. It's really nice. It's just gonna come down to preference on how you like to apply your makeup. And then the next one they sent me, which I've been loving, is the number 98 highlight brush. Now I use this, if you guys know, I have a fan brush that I absolutely love, and a hair that's this color, but it's natural, and it was discontinued. So this brush I actually love. I used it today. I don't get chunks. It's not too heavy. It's not giving me fallout anywhere. So I love this. This is the number 98 brush. And then the final thing that I would buy from them would be the Urban Decay Grindhouse pencil sharpener. Best pencil sharpener. You would think, how big of a difference can a pencil sharpener make? A huge difference, because so much of it eats so much of your pencil. This has a small side and a big side. It's going to sharpen your pencils perfectly, not eat up too much of your product. I love this. Something so small. I've tried a million pencil sharpeners and I always come back to this one. It's just really, really nice. And now real quickly, I'm gonna go through and tell you what's in my basket. So I have my Shiseido facial cottons because I need a refill on that. I wanna try the Youth to the People, the Super Berry Hydrate Plus Glow Oil. That looks really interesting. This Volition Beauty Prismatic Illuminizing Shield SPF 50. It kind of sounds like it'd be a luminizing SPF, which I don't know how I'm gonna like that, but I wanna try it. The Biosense Squalane and Photo Retinol Serum. I want to try that. The Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. I did feel this in store, and Tara Babies talks about it all the time. This feels thicker like I like, instead of those kind of like thin waxy ones. Tata Harper came out with a new cleanser called the Clarifying Cleanser, which I have that and I want to try. The Peter Thomas Roth Potency Power Serum is another vitamin C that I want to try. You guys have been asking me for other options. That one is $95, so I'm going to get that on the sale. And then I have the Youth to the People cleanser that I'm out of that I want to redo. Just in case you guys think that we get everything for free and that we don't spend our own money on products, I absolutely do. Like I said, I do get some stuff sent to me, but I buy and test a ton of products at your guys' behest and me wanting to know as well. I would love to hear what you guys plan on picking up from the sale. If you could leave that down below, because that always helps me give ideas like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.